That was Brother Alva from Labrie. Let us put our hands together for Brother Alva. Where Tibaisa need dialogue, any conversation. Monsieur ka convince pour we kusav. Tellement belle parole Tibailane. My brothers and sisters, it's serious, serious business. Very serious. You see, Brother Lon has to retain the seat in Choiseul. For him to do that, he has to defeat Bradley Felix. I want you to know that when Brother Lon came in office, the Labour Party gave him nothing. He came on his own volition, even if Pacoy. La Bontier, dit Chey, depuis où est, on moun ka accepter l'argent pour entrer en politics, be weary. You have to beware. You have to be afraid, because you know that is the first bad step. And so I warn you. I told you earlier that Chastanet is a divider. He divided everything he puts his hand on. And he continues to divide. I am going to read to you tonight a letter from Brother Tennyson Joseph, that he wrote to Brother Brad Felix, his own cousin. It reads, "Dear Bradley, I am writing this letter to you as a public document to express my concerns about your decision to place yourself under the leadership of Alan Chastanet as the United Workers' Party's candidate for Choiseul to address the pitfalls of your manner of entry into the politics and to advise you to reconsider your decision." The letter continues, "Undoubtedly, the first question which will be asked is why use such a public forum to share my perspective on your candidature, when it is well known that you are a cousin brother to me and I might have addressed you privately. However, since I had taken the decision to run as a candidate for the St. Lucia Labour Party in 2006, and now that you have been announced as a candidate for the UWP, neither of us can hide behind a wall of privacy. Politics is the most public activities and should never be treated like just another job. This is a lesson that you will no doubt learn in short order. Further, since I've always been a frontline SLP activist, and since you and I share a close family bond, many persons, friends and detractors alike, have been speculating on whether I will be supporting you in the coming election. The political opportunists who are now masquerading as your friends would have no doubt deliberately selected you as a candidate to confuse the public, to divide our family, and in the hope of neutralizing me in the coming campaign. I have no choice, therefore, but to make this a public letter, though I do so with a heavy heart and with a bond of family love that can never be broken. For those who have been cynically trying to attach my name to your political decision, let me declare publicly that you have made your political choice. As a free, independent, and intelligent citizen, I have made mine. Your decision is to make yourself an agent for the election of Chastanet as Prime Minister of St. Lucia, and my decision is to oppose with every fiber in my body the elevation of Chastanet to the office of Prime Minister. My opposition to Chastanet arises from the fact that he is not prime ministerial material. He is not grounded enough in St. Lucianness to represent the interests of the entire population, and that his private life and past experiences have not prepared him to occupy an office in which the hopes of an entire population reside. I oppose Chastanet on the ground that he is merely using the UWP and the political arena as a platform from which he can advance the narrow economic interests of a few small cliches. The coming elections is therefore not even about whether you become a parliamentary representative for Choiseul. It is about whether Chastanet becomes the prime minister. It is whether the people will elect someone who is disconnected from the ordinary St. Lucian, who cannot speak the language, and who has no understanding of the daily experiences. Everything that I have observed about Chastanet suggests to me that if he is ever chosen as prime minister, he will run the country in the interest of a few rich local and foreign businessmen. He will appoint some unknown and unfamiliar self-interested persons to key position, and will never pursue the kind of social programs that are still necessary in a country like St. Lucia, trying to overcome countries of neglect. The election in Choiseul is therefore not about you. It is about Alan Chastanet. I am saddened that Chastanet and a few oligarchs from Soufrière, and I know them, who now surround you, have pushed you into the politics with little concern about your professional future. No genuine friend would have convinced you to abandon the profession which you have pursued since the age of 16, and a mere 5 years short of full retirement benefits, to represent a party ridden by internal splits, with a leader who has never been successfully elected, and one who is likely to lose the 2016 general elections. As a real friend would, so let me go back. As a real friend would never push you towards such a precipice. Indeed, there are some who are now talking through Choiseul with you. Some of them are working with him in Choiseul. And they are well known for harboring personal jealousies towards your family. And some of them may be enjoying the fact that you have toyed with your life's profession on such a thoughtless whim. Equally troubling to me is the fact that I have known you all my life, and I have never heard you express a political opinion or show any interest in public service. You have never expressed any opposition to Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony and his politics. You are yet to indicate, either privately or publicly, what is the basis of your opposition to Kenny and the SLP, which motivated you to take such a strong political stance as becoming a candidate for the UWP. Sadly, this, coupled with the fact that you have continued to remain at work long after your candidacy has been announced, has given you a public image of one who is entering politics with considerations of personal material calculation. Politics is not a job that one enters with personal calculations of revenue versus expenditure. It is a vocation. Any hint that your main motivation is private financial advantage will compromise your relationship with the people whom you aspire to represent. A man cannot serve two masters. I urge you not to allow persons who have no experiential knowledge of your family's struggle for survival to use you to fulfill the selfish political aspirations. Whilst you will claim that the people are asking you to run, it is also true that Chastanet has been seeing something in you, which is why he wanted you as a candidate. The question is, what is that something? And I am certain that it is not your knowledge of public policy. It is not your political skills or experience. It is not your ability to speak on a platform or in parliament. Chastanet's attraction to you resides in the surface things that appeal to his eyes, but not in his brain. Your external physical image as a clean-cut banker and your family connection to Choiseul. The real question is, what is so dismal about the current crop of the United Workers' Party, like Chastanet has so desperately sought out as a nice face in the UWP? I am certain that your brief involvement with the UWP might have provided some answers to this question. Bradley, save yourself from this guilt by association. Chastanet is merely using you as a stepping stone. You are grassroots, banker Choiseul boy who can front for him in much the same way that the patois-speaking Seventh-day Adventist guy Joseph fronts for him in Castries office. Beyond that, he has no use for you. He has no social connection with you. His election as Prime Minister, if it happens, will be a hoax of our lifetime. It will also be a disaster for the ordinary St. Lucian. I will therefore be voting against Chastanet in the coming election. I urge you therefore to remove yourself, your face, and your name from that farce. We are a proud family. We have always struggled to lift ourselves up through patience, hard work, public service, humility, and genuine sacrifice. We never forget our rural origins. We know our class allies and our political comrades. Deep down, you know that you have more in common with Kenny than with Chastanet. Don't allow yourself to be misled by persons who are only seeking to use you and will discard you like a paper cup once they have served their purpose. Do the right thing. Yours, family love forever and always, but always political conscious and alert, Tennyson S.D. Joseph. I want you to put your hands together for Dr. Tennyson Joseph. For being a man, for standing for a principle, for recognizing that his own blood is going in the wrong direction, and had the fortitude to turn to him and say, cousin, brother, you're doing the wrong thing. But at the end of the day, the choice has been his, was his, is his, will continue to be his. You've put yourself in a battle, and we are at war. We will pull out every bit of ammunition available within the confines of the laws of this country. You made a mistake. You will pay for it. You will pay for it on election day. And you've been warned. And so, as we continue, if you want a copy of that letter, I can make it available if you contact me. I am about to bring to you tonight the man who shares the same philosophy and principle of Dr. Tennyson Joseph, who believes Alan Chastanet is the worst thing that can ever happen to St. Lucia, who believes that Alan Chastanet is an opportunist, who believes that Alan Chastanet will stop at nothing to become the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, who believes that if Alan Chastanet is the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, violon, how they say it? Bal fini, violon ensemble. Who knows that Alan Chastanet wants to be Prime Minister not to help you and the poor people of Saltebus, of Dalson, of Diga, of Café. That's not his interest. His interest is to serve the people who will feed him with little bits and pieces, who will finance his campaign. Those who have already, the top 1% of St. Lucia. That's where he belongs. That's his class. That's where his interest lies. And that's where he is going to work. And that's the people he will help. STEP is a grassroots program. Nice grassroots program for poor people, for vulnerable people. That is why Alva told you. His consultants had to tell him, do not say you're going to remove them. Say you're going to improve on them. He has no conscience for poor people. And a man I admire, related to me from Choiseul. A man who has served you with pride and dignity. A man who has worked and worked hard in St. Lucia, in Choiseul, throughout the region, throughout the world, representing St. Lucia, representing you, the people of Choiseul. It gives me a great honor to present him tonight at this meeting in Choiseul to address you. Brother Lon Theophilus, the mic is yours. Choiseul, Mama Choiseul! Let me hear it for Choiseul! Let me hear it for Choiseul!